Ghana has many problems. That's not a controversial statement, but there is a perspective that I keep coming back to. The people make the place. And if the people make the place and the place is struggling, then naturally we need to look at ourselves. Today, I want to talk about what I believe is one of the biggest issues we face as a country: our attitude towards rules and how that quietly shapes everything else. We'll focus specifically on footbridges. Road accidents in Ghana are not rare events. They happen every day. One may be occurring as you are watching this video. One may be occurring as I'm making this video. And I say this not just as somebody who has looked at the statistics of it, but also somebody who works at the hospital. I want to read something to you. The National Road and Safety Authority report a total of 9,626 road traffic crashes. That is from January to August 2025. That was just last year. These crashes involved 16,348 vehicles. Now, when we talk about 9,626 road traffic crashes, we are talking about a crash that happened. So let's say a crash happened at Adenta, a crash happened at Medina. But then this crash could involve one car, two cars, three cars. That is why the number for the vehicles involved is very high. So these vehicles include all categories, that is private vehicles, commercial vehicles, motorbikes or motorcycles as well. They are not just numbers. They are not just numbers. They represent decisions, they represent movement, they represent people. To address this, footbridges have been constructed across major roads from Medina to Adenta to La Paz, any major road that you know of, the N4, there is a footbridge there. And currently, I know one is being constructed at Persec, which is not completed yet. I don't know what the delay is. Anyways, on paper, the footbridges it's great a straightforward solution. You build a footbridge, people use it, less accidents, we are done. But in reality, that is not the case at all. And to be fair, the effort is visible in terms of the construction of footbridges. Many years ago, let's say 2010 back, there weren't that many footbridges around. I would say a lot of footbridges were probably constructed in the last um 10 to 12 years, which is good. It shows improvement. But the question that we should ask ourselves now is that, are we using them? If you spent enough time in Accra, you or anywhere else that is busy in Greater Accra region, you realize that we are not using them at all. Or most common, or one of the most common complaints that people give for not using these footbridges is that it's too long. And I mean, have you seen? I'm displaying some on the screen right now. Look at how long that is. I don't know why they did it that way. I have no idea. I don't have a degree in architecture. And personally, if I were to make a footbridge, I would make it with shorter stairs, because all these winding and curvatures is too much. Come on. I mean, come on. You are going to do a wheelchair entrance or huge wheelchair passage for people, and they have to wind through all of this. What if they're alone? Would they be able to do this? Anyways, that's just by the way. So far, my favorite footbridge is the one at Accra Mall. And anyone that is like Accra Mall is the shortest footbridge so far that I've seen. I mean, it goes one stairs up, you go up a little bit, and then you come down. I think there's also one at Shia So, which is also similar. I also love that one. It's very good, very very good. That's the design that we should have maintained for all the short bridges. I don't know which people decided to bring all these weird designs. Anyways, I digress. So, yes, the design does matter and convenience does matter as well. But I don't think that tells the whole story. There's more to it than that. Let's take a step back. There was a time when there was no working footbridge at Adenta, and I can remember this quite well. It was about 2018, and concerns were raised, but like many things, it didn't feel urgent. And at that time, there was a footbridge being constructed, just that it hadn't been completed. It's like one of those projects that starts, it stalls for a long time before it finally gets completed. That was the issue. But then suddenly it became urgent when a 22-year-old student from West African Secondary School got knocked down by a driver. Then it became very important because there were demonstrations, there were riots, um, there were burning of ties. It was so serious for somebody who does not concern himself with the news. I heard about this. That's how serious this issue was. When I was sitting in the car going to school or going anywhere, I'd be hearing it on the discussion. If I was to turn on the TV, I would see it being displayed on the TV. That is how much of an issue it is. And eventually it got completed. But let's ask a very simple question. Do people use do people use it? Some do. Some, but a lot of people don't. And you can see them in these images that I'm displaying to you. They are not supposed to be doing that. And even this occurred during live TV. An individual was crossing the road while while there is a footbridge. So at this point, it's no longer a infrastructure or a structural issue. It's more of a people issue, like a behavioral issue. And I'll be honest here, I'm not trying to say that I am a saint and I've never crossed a road, even though there was a footbridge for me to use. No, I've done it before. But then there is also another issue that I want to talk about, and that is hawkers. When you are walking on these footbridges, whether you're at Shiashi, Accra, Accra Mode Bridge, or Medina, one thing that you notice is that hawkers are on the bridges, and that creates a serious inconvenience. Already, people don't want to use the bridge, and now you are also selling on the bridge, crowding the bridge, making it uncomfortable to even use the bridge, making it very uncomfortable. The good initiative that I've seen by the authorities, especially at Medina, is that the hawkers are no more on the, what do you call it, the footbridge, and that is good. That's an improvement. It makes it amazing, makes it clear, it makes it like comfortable to walk through. Because now you don't have to be passing through people, trying not to step on somebody's goods whilst you are making your way to work. And this change predominantly has occurred because of authorities which are standing there. Now they are holding canes, they are holding sticks.
Junction to enforce compliance.
They have been using the bridge. We force them. They want to cross the road, but we are forcing them now to cross to use the bridge.
Sometimes discipline has to be what? Has to be shown. So we sometimes scare them with this Kofi Baboni.
And they are very serious. The moment you try to cross the road, they will suck you back that go back and use the bridge. That is how it is. And my question is that do we have to be forced to do something that benefits us? Do we? We have to grow as a people. We have to come to the point where we are not trying to be convenient for ourselves' sake, but trying to follow the rules that will benefit us in the long run. We cried for these bridges. We literally went on demonstrations, and you say that no, I was at home, I didn't do any of that. Yes, you're at home, you were sleeping probably. But the point is, a lot of people, a lot of deaths occurred to the point where it was imperative that these bridges should be made. And so when these bridges were constructed, the issue that people will raise is that the design is terrible, it's so long, they don't want to work on it, etc. It's understandable. but will you take convenience over safety? And there was this discussion back in 2025. That was February 2025 last year. And it was Honorable Isifu Mahmood who was speaking. And he was speaking in response to a colleague who had also raised the topic of footbridges not being used. And this was his statement. He said that even when barriers are put in place, walls, wire mesh, restrictions, and I'm just paraphrasing here, people still find ways around them. They climb over it, they cut through the wire mesh, they bypass the barricades. So right now, there's the thing where in Medina, for example, they've put barricades all over the place, wire meshes and other things to stop people from crossing the road in that way. But you'll be surprised in just a few months, those crab guys that usually cut metals, they will come and take those metals away. And before you know it, that place is left crossable once again. At this point, it forces a difficult reflection. If every action of ours, if every solution is met with resistance, then the limitation is no longer the system, it becomes us. We are making the limitations. We have the opportunity to have these structures that exist because of certain terrible things that have happened. And now we find ourselves abandoning these structures, and that is not right. Like your safety is more important. You can spend 5 minutes crossing that bridge and then arrive safely than to rush and then get hit down by a car. Thank you for watching this video. Like and follow me for more content like this. This is a first in installation of these type of contents, and I'm a beginner in this, so you can leave down your comments about things that I should change. If you are telling me to change my background, please, I hope you are ready to pay rent for me. I'm just kidding. I'm going to also work on my background. For now, I think I'll just maintain this or use this background, but then eventually I'll be able to change this background and then use something that is way what do you call it, way better than this. um like and subscribe, and make sure that you're following the rules.